Got it? Okay, let me suppress this. I can close that out. We'll leave that, we'll leave that. I'm gonna hit done, I'm gonna check one more time. Okay, so let me share my screen. And we'll start here. All right, so again, this is College Algebra 1 with Online Lab. I'm Professor Phifer, and let's start off this orientation with the syllabus. We're gonna make our way through the syllabus. Well, here, let me just kind of give a background overview. So I just realized I didn't introduce myself to my other students as well. So I'm an alum. I guess an alumnus. I'm an alum of Morehouse. I came out in 06 from Morehouse. I got my bachelor's of science in math. I have a master's in applied mathematics I earned from Florida Institute of Technology in I guess it was 2011. Yeah, and I'll be an instructor. I'm a gamer. I haven't started streaming my gaming. I just game just for the sake of doing it. But I actually use the mathematics like on the go when I'm gaming. And so I want to do some research because it's so much fun. And like how I don't necessarily dominate, but I do use some of the principles and concepts that we talk about in different varying capacities. So the way we're going to do our course, this is a remote online asynchronous course, right? So a lot of the learning is independent. All of the lectures, anything that I would want to say in a lecture is already available on my YouTube. So any given day, the central hub for everything that we need is what you should be able to see my screen right now with a Blackboard. Also for these sessions, feel free to unmute yourself if you have questions or type your questions in the chat. I do check the chat periodically. And right now I have it where you guys can unmute yourself. I'll check the attendance for the stragglers momentarily. I think I just want to do the walkthrough for Blackboard first, right? So there is a lab component with this course, right? And that's what you see over here is an online Alex lab. So that portion is actually run by my colleague, Dr. Lamar. So any question you have for Alex, I'm going to direct you to this. When you click on that link, this is what pops up. All of her information is here. And you want it, whatever she says that you need to do, that's what I expect you to do. And then basically what's going to happen is she's going to give me a grade for you. I'm going to take that grade and scale it to 10% of your overall grade. So whatever grade that she gives me for you, it counts for 10% of your overall grade. I'm going to take her grade and say times 0.1 and factor that into your overall grade. So again, when we log into Blackboard, this is what you see. It looks like this. So if we go ahead and open up our main folder for College Algebra 1, we're going to go ahead and open this up. So, and again, the way I structure my course is remote, online, asynchronous. So what I mean by asynchronous is that you're not obligated to stay for class, right? But what I do expect is for you to get your attendance credit. The way you get attendance credit is getting into my Zoom, right? I basically take attendance as I let you into the Zoom. So once you've made it into my Zoom, that means you've gotten your attendance. If you want to leave, you could just log out and it's totally okay. You're not going to be marked as absent or anything like that. Just once you've gotten your attendance credit, you don't have to show back up until the next session for another attendance credit. But all the lectures are already available for the entire semester. All the homework and quizzes are already available for the entire semester. The only thing that you don't have access to right now are the exams, right? The homework and quizzes are there to kind of prepare you for the exams. Your homework is worth like 10% of your overall grade, and the quizzes are worth 10% of your overall grade. But 80% of your overall grade, approximately 80% of your overall grade comes from the exams. So exams 1, 2, and 3, and a final. All of these are going to be accessed on Pearson. If you click on item number 4, we're going to come to that in a moment. We're going to come to the syllabus in a moment. If you made it into my Zoom, so either you got the announcement or the email, or you were able to use this link, but you successfully made it into my Zoom, so that's good. Any kind of documents like PDFs or anything like that, lectures, I'm going to load them onto this item number 3 on the PowerPoint lecture slides. Our assignments through Pearson are going to be number 4. I'm going to come back to that one. And then my YouTube is what you see here at the bottom where it says Beautiful Mind Phifer. Let's go ahead and click on that. So if I click on that one, it opens up my YouTube and it takes us to full lectures for each section. That basically is what I did last year. It's the same information, right? So you have a lecture for a full lecture for 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, for every section that we're going to be doing for the entire semester. So you already have access to it. You can use it. My recommendation is, to be as neat and organized as possible. If you really want to position yourself for success in a math course, math is all about simplification, and the best way to do that is to be neat and organized. Suppose you do the homework, but you don't keep any record of it, then it's like you won't have anything to go back and reference, right? So because more than likely you're going to see the same questions again with different numbers. So if you don't have the work that you did before, then now you're going to have to do it off the cuff, and the chances of you remembering are low because it's going to be information overload. So to minimize the amount that you have to remember, you want to be neat and organized and write it down. Have a homework notebook, take notes from the lectures as if you were in class. Every time you work on a homework question, you want to have a copy of the original question with where to find it in the book. You want to have the corresponding necessary work shown, and then your final answer in the box. The more you can do that, the better, because then when it becomes important, a lot of times you can reference it from the way we have it set up. But if you don't take good notes, if you're not neat and organized, you won't be able to reference it. So you're going to have less to draw from. Even if you had somebody else's notes, it's not going to serve you because you didn't take the time to create it. So you won't know if it's there. You're going to be spending most of your time going back and forth, and you're going to waste a lot of energy and time. My recommendation is just to go ahead and get started immediately, right? So we've taken a look at the YouTube. Let me pause for a moment. Are there any questions so far? Any questions? So we've
Can I answer a question or ask a question?
Go ahead.
So all the homework assignments is on the Pearson.
Correct.
Okay.
That's what we're about to talk about. So we talked about the Alex lab, and then for us, our assignment is going to be here in this folder number 4. This is assignments. So when we open up that folder, these are the links to Pearson, right? So the main one that you need is the very first one that says all assignments. So if I click there, now when you click on yours, you're going to be prompted for payment. It's not going to look like this. Oh, I think I got to update yours. How did I miss that? Okay. All right, let me see. Give me just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and update this right now. So let me, just give me a moment. That'll give me a few minutes that I need. Give me a moment to update that so you can get started, because it's just some clicks I need to do. So if I go here, give me just a moment. It's not going to take me that long. I'll be right with you guys. Let me see. So it's this one. I'm glad I caught that. I almost didn't see it. It's this one. And then I want to go to manage. Come on. Dates and assigned status. Okay. Let me think how I'm going to do this. So if I do all of this, I don't think it's going to let me do yesterday. Okay, I can do that. That's fine. We can do this. That's fine. Okay. So I'm doing those mini calls. Like I've been talking all day, like since 9 this morning. I'm like, I am done. I don't want to talk anymore. Actually, final submission is December 9th. Okay, that looks good. Then what I need to do I see the waiting room. Just give me a moment. Let me stop the screen share. Just give me a moment. Let's see. So this one you can add 5 days. That is not correct. Let's do 4. Or let's subtract 1 day. That is correct. Okay. So then we want to add 7 days. Okay, that's good. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long because I'm basically having I guess I missed you guys' class. And I'd rather just do it now because if I try to wait, I know as soon as I leave you guys, I'm just going to be thinking about other stuff. So the best thing is for me to just do this right now. Add. Okay, that's looking good. Okay. So then this is the next week. I think that's okay. That's fine. Okay, that looks good. 7 days. Okay. Oh, my bad, guys. Yeah, I just feel like I need to do this right now because I know how I am. Give me just a moment. I'm almost there. And I'm glad I caught it though, because that way you need to go ahead and get started. Let's see. I think that's good. Add another 7 days. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Week 11, add another 7 days. $12. Okay. Let's see. I think that's good. 13. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay, we're almost there. And then week 14. Okay, that looks good. And I think for those, let me think. So let's add 25 days. 25. I think that's correct. That's what I had to do last time. Darn, I can't get that right. We need to subtract 4, so 21 is correct. It can't be right though. Maybe that's. What is this? November 20th. Okay, so that's fine. I'll get rid of this and subtract 4 days. Subtract 2 days. Okay. Okay, that looks good. And calendar dates. So then if I go here, September, right here. So 1, exam 2. Okay, and then exam 3. And then the final. All right. Okay, so there's that. Update these settings. And then I'm almost there. Assignment manager. More tools, multiple assignments. Do my prereqs. Exam. There it is. This one. Let's do exam 1. Exam 2. Exam 3. Those are the 3. That's 1. This. 2. 3. Okay. And I'll give you an update on, like, you know, everything that we need to do. Exam 2. I'm just doing this now because I know if I don't do it now, because I think that's what happened. I thought I did it, and I guess it just slipped my mind. I just missed it. 5, 6, 7. Okay. Then if I go to exam 3, this one, this. So then 9, 10, and 11. Okay. So there's that. That's for 70. I'm watching the clock. I know. Copy, paste, oh, paste. I think the tab was a little bit better. Paste, 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 paste. Okay. Paste and paste. Okay, update prereqs. And then there's only one other thing I need to do is the thing. Assignment manager, more tools, multiple assignments. With the homework, late submissions, allow late submissions. Deduct from the final score of 10%. Only questions scored after the due date. Okay. Apply the settings. And then that was the homework. Let's go ahead and do the quizzes, the same thing. I'm still streaming. I'll be done in like 20 minutes. 10% late submissions, importing this, apply, and one more. Quiz test. Come on. Late submissions allow deduct 10%. And importing allow, and I think we're good to go. Sorry that took way longer than I anticipated, but it was important. So I think we're good to go. So let's hop back into this. Let me finish my attendance. Okay, let me see. Got this student and this one. Okay, so maybe we have a small crowd here. Cool. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So I think we're, yes. So there are materials. So let's go back to sharing the screen. I think we're still streaming. That looks good. Yeah, so I had to go through and update this. So now if I refresh it, it should become available. There we go. Because I was like, I'm glad I checked, right? Okay, so now this is what I just sat here and went through and assigned all this stuff. So let's kind of back up a little bit. So if you're just joining us, like we've basically just been doing a tour of Blackboard. I noticed that I hadn't assigned you all's work, so I went on and took however much time it took me to go ahead and assign your work. There is a lab component of this right here. So on the left-hand panel, this is from Blackboard. Any lab-related questions is managed by my colleague, Dr. Lamar. So this is her contact info and all the information you need there. We are live streaming on my YouTube, so I just want you to be aware of that as far as, just be cognizant of whatever sensitive information that you're sharing. And then what you see now, you should be able to see my screen. This is the landing page when you come to Blackboard. So if we open up this folder, we're going to do the best we can with the syllabus. You can actually watch a presentation that I've done earlier, like the one I did at the 3 o'clock or the 9 o'clock, and it's the exact same for you all. So I didn't have that same break like I did with you all. So you can get a better presentation there. So my YouTube, we talked about that, item number 5. If I do any kind of PDFs or anything, I'm going to put them in here. So for the full lectures and things like that, I'll place them there in the item number 3. You made it into my Zoom, so you know how to access my Zoom. We'll go into the syllabus in just a moment. Let's look at, so item number 4 is where your homework, quizzes, and exams are. When you click on it, it'll look like this, and you want to click on item number 1 that says My Math Lab, all assignments. So that's what you have to purchase access to. My recommendation is you open up this link, follow the prompts, and purchase it. When you click on that link, you're going to be prompted for payment. It costs just under like $120, but going forward, like for instance, if this is College Algebra 1, right now I teach College Algebra 2 and I use the exact same book. So if you take another course in the future that has the exact same book, you don't have to purchase access again. I did have to take some time to go through and assign all of these, but I think I got it down. So it looks pretty good. So all of your homework and quizzes are assigned for the entire semester with the corresponding due dates. I think these dates are good too. They should be. So for instance, this week, you're expected to go through the lecture on my YouTube for section 1.1, and then the corresponding homework and quiz is assigned and is due this upcoming Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So every week, the assignments for that week are due Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. But there's a caveat. There's a couple of things to that though. We get unlimited attempts on all assignments, including exams. You can work on any assignment past the due date, and there's only a 10% late penalty for late assignments. Now, there is a hard deadline for all assignments, which is December 9th. You see it over here on the left. That 12/9 at 11:59, I can't push anything past that, and everything is going to be available until that time. That's that Friday during the week of finals. Okay. Because of the hiatus, I'm going to kind of power through just a little bit. Give me just a moment. So, and if you need like more time to purchase access, on that page where you're prompted for payment, at the bottom of that page is going to be a link that says get 14 days of temporary access. You want to go ahead and take advantage of that link and get started on your assignments. You don't want to let this stuff linger because it'll pile up real fast. Or quickly, should I say. Like very is one of those words that we don't really need. Like if I'm, instead of saying very hungry, say I'm famished or starving, or, there's a word for an exaggerated form of everything. So why do you have the word very? Okay. So we talked about the YouTube. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube, and you want to turn your notifications on. That's a shameless plug on my part. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And basically, it's like whenever I respond to students' questions, you might have the same question or you might have that question in the future, right? So as long as you get the notifications, you're like, oh, wait a minute. I think he made a video on that. I saw the notification. Let me go check out the video. So we talked about Pearson. We talked about how to access PDFs. We were able to get into the Zoom. So let's take some time to go through the syllabus. I'm going to use this link over here on the left and open up the syllabus. All right. Let me make it. So if you have a question for right now, just put your question in the chat. And at the end of the syllabus, we'll come through and try to entertain any remaining questions. So this is College Algebra 1 with online lab, HMTH 105 OL, section 18. All right, so that's like the CRN number. So I am Mr. Phifer. You can call me Professor Phifer. And my email is my first name dot last name at morehouse.edu. The best way to communicate with me is during class, right? So this course is remote asynchronous, which means you're not obligated to stay, but I do require that you at least show up and get your attendance credit, right? And the way you get your attendance credit is by getting into my Zoom. So once you've gotten your attendance credit, for whatever reasons, you don't have to explain, you don't have to stay. I'm really using class time as like office hours and the study session. I did that because I know that you're available during this time, so we don't have to worry about trying to schedule. And then, you know, you have access to everything that you need. My lectures are available. You have access to the homework. And I do encourage you all to work together. You can even like take your assignments and sit down with a tutor and go question by question. You know, I don't mind you all working together on these. I just do the best you can to try to process as much information as you can. But if you need help, I encourage you to like have a group meet, work together, sit down with the tutors, like use your resources. It's totally okay. Just do the best you can, you know, and we'll kind of go from there. Again, if you have questions, just put them in the chat for right now. I have a solid 15 minutes that I'm trying to maximize. Let me see. So I don't really have a phone. Again, the best way to contact me is just during class time. And now you can either show up to our scheduled time, which is like 4 to 4:50, but also on Monday and Wednesdays, I'm also on the same Zoom from basically the 9 o'clock hour and from 1 to 5. So you don't have to come to this one. You can come to one of the other sessions and, you know, engage there as well. That's always an option. But if you show up at a different time, it's going to be a lot more challenging for me to like get your attendance credit. If you want attendance credit, you want to show up during your scheduled time. But you can attend the other sessions just for questions and whatever you need to do. We meet Monday and Wednesdays at 4 to 4:50. That's also, again, this is really just office hours, but most of the learning is done independently and on your own. Again, you can work with like the tutors and each other and things of that nature. You have this. Again, you made it into the Zoom, so you know you don't have to worry about this too much. Again, we talked about office hours being during class time. Okay. Prerequisite is either through the replacement exam or a See It Better in Prep Math 2. You can read through the agenda, sorry. We have, you know, the topics. So let's talk about the grading rationale. All right. So I think we discussed the lab. So again, the lab is going to be run by my colleague, Dr. Lamar, which is on Alex. I showed you how to access that from Blackboard. And so, but if there were no lab, normally just for me, you would be responsible for what you see in purple. But since this does have a lab, I'm going to scale that purple part to 90% of your overall grade. And then whatever Dr. Lamar gives me, I'm going to scale that to 10% of your overall grade. So we caught a glimpse of the homework and quizzes. That's what's available. All the homework and all the quizzes are available for the entire semester. And our rhythm is we're pretty much going to be doing one section per week, right? So this week we're doing section 1.1. The lecture is available. The homework is available, the quiz is available. All the homework for the entire semester only totals up to about 10, just shy of 10% of your overall grade. I guess it's 9% of your overall grade. Something like that. The quizzes, same thing, just about 10% of your overall grade. But your exams, the 3 exams and the final, they total to just about 80% of your overall grade, right? So that has the heaviest weight of those exams. On all assignments, each assignment has a due date. Is right to the left of it. It's to the left of each assignment. I'm saying right to the left. Who's on first? Yes is on first. No, who? That's what I'm asking. That whole thing. But the due date for each assignment is to the left of each assignment. But we get unlimited attempts at all assignment, and we can work on any assignment past the due date up until the hard deadline of Friday, December 9th at 11:59 p.m. But if you submit an assignment past the due date, then there's only a 10% late penalty. So the highest you can earn on that assignment is a 90, which is an A-. So in order to get an A- submitted late, you'd have to get everything perfect. If you have questions, type them in the chat. We got a solid 10 minutes. I don't want to keep you no more than 10 minutes. If you have questions right now, type them into the chat. The grading rationale, basically 90s are A's, 80s are B's, 70s are C's. Officially passing any course at Morehouse at most institutions is a C. And for us, it's about a 72, that's 72, right? Exactly. Between 70 and 72, that's a C-. Many majors do not let you move forward to C-, but I typically don't give C-. If somebody gets between a 70 and 72, I'm like, okay, well, let's try to figure out what we need to do to get them into passing or things of that nature. Well, maybe you can go ahead and submit this assignment that should get you over, or this, that, or the other. But if you fall like below a C or a D, then you're gonna have to take it again. Okay, if you have questions, type it in the chat for right now, and then we'll check it in just a moment. So this is just an overview of learning objectives and things that we're going to be going through here. This is a rough schedule. Basically on a weekly basis. So this week, week 1, we have section 1.1, graphs and equations. Again, the lecture for each of these is available along with the corresponding homework and quiz. And then, so honestly, if you want it, you can go ahead and complete all the homework and quizzes for the entire semester, and then just be waiting for the exams to release. Exam 1 is released during week 4. Exam 2 is released during week 8. And then exam 3 is released during week 12. And then the final is at the very end. I do want to kind of bring to your attention, for each exam, the prerequisite is passing the corresponding quizzes, right? So if exam 1 is during week 4, that means in order to access it, you'd have to pass quiz for week 1, quiz for week 2, and quiz for week 3, right? And the quizzes are only like 5 questions, right? And again, you get unlimited attempts, and everything is available right now. But every week, the next topic is going to start locking out, and you're not going to be able to get full credit. Again, if you have questions, type it into the chat. Again, the homework is available for the entire semester and is due every week on Sunday at midnight. Unlimited attempts and only a 10% late penalty up until the hard deadline of December 9th. 3 exams and a comprehensive final. The makeup policy, again, every assignment already has an automatic extension built into it, so you can work on anything all the way up until the very end. But once you start submitting assignments late, there's a 10% late penalty. The last day to withdraw from this course is Monday, October 24th, 2022. The last day of class is Wednesday, November 30th, 2022. Oh, I probably should have put Friday. And, well, that's Monday through Friday, but final exam week is that first full week of December. Is December 5th through the 9th. I didn't put Thanksgiving on here. Thanksgiving it starts on that Wednesday. So I did miss that holiday here. Thanksgiving is that Wednesday, the Wednesday before this. So the 23rd, I think it is. but that Monday we're expected to be at least to meet online. Attendance, this is a 2 credit hour course, so you're allowed up to 2 unexcused absences. Once you hit that 3rd unexcused absence, you could be potentially booted from the course, you know, and you lose your money and you waste your time and all this kind of stuff. So the main thing that I need from you is to show up each time, get your attendance credit, and if you need to go, you can just leave. You don't have that now, so you just exit and it's okay. Disability services, if you need accommodations, you would just call this letter and we'll make sure, call this number at the end of the document, at the end of the paragraph, and we'll make sure that you can get whatever accommodations that you need. With this being remote asynchronous, you know, obviously I don't mind cell phones and laptops. I honestly encourage it. I encourage you to be neat and organized so you can use that stuff on the exam. It's totally okay. Like, it'll be fine. Cheating. So, you know, the thing with that is like, it's not really necessary for this. It's, you know, it's okay. Obviously, it's only so much that we can do given the way everything is structured. My recommendation, I don't mind you guys working together, but just try to process as much of this information as you can. The way we have it set up is that you guys are responsible for about half the amount of work the students in the past have to do. We literally cut it in half. It was way more work because there's a lot more information that you need to know. Well, not need to know, but for college algebra, there's a lot more information. So we cut the workload in half. I don't mind you guys working together, but you need to try to process as much of this on your own. You don't want to just like have somebody else doing it, because there's going to come to a time, you don't want to just have somebody else doing it and you don't learn anything, because there's going to come to this time where you're going to be responsible for this information on your own, like in a testing environment, right? I don't know if it's going to happen with our interaction or later, but I definitely have had students that came back and they were like, Professor, I thought that when I finished your class, I thought that I was done with math. I went to apply for this job, and the first thing they gave me at this job interview, the first thing that they gave them was a math exam. They were like, we want you to take this test to see how you do, right? So the chances, there's going to come a point where you're going to be responsible for this on your own in a testing environment. So you don't want somebody else doing it and you don't know any of this information. You know, you're not here to pay for a course. You're here to actually grow and expand. You don't want something like this. It's very simple to get in your way and block you and stop you from what you're trying to do, right? So there also have been cases where people like cheat in these kind of things. They get the credit to graduate, they get their degree, they get hired for the job because they qualify, and then the surface is that they cheated. They never did whatever they said they did, right? So then what happens is the employer might be like, okay, well, you know, if they cheated in a course, that means they didn't do the course, which means they didn't earn the degree, which means they don't qualify for this job. So if you want to keep your job, you got to go back, you know, and finish whatever you need to finish to get your degree, right? And you don't want to be in a position where you have your livelihood is based, and you got to go back and still have to do. The best thing is just, you know, go with the flow, follow the system, save yourself stress, energy, time, and money. Do what you need to do now. Nip it in the bud so that you don't have to, it doesn't get in your way going forward. I mean, this has even happened to me. I was applying for different jobs, and they were like, well, we just were making sure that, you know, what you guys talked about corresponds to what we do. Like, I mean, this was like 10 years later. They were like digging, like calling and looking at the transcript and combing through, trying to make sure. I was like, Jesus. But yeah, it's real. It happened to me, right? So all I'm saying is, and I see the time, I'm not going to keep you much longer. You know, I don't mind you guys working together, but you definitely want to try to learn as much of this stuff as you can. A syllabus is not a contract between instructor and student, but rather a guide to course procedures. The instructor reserves the right to amend the syllabus when conflicts, emergencies, or circumstances dictate. Students will be duly notified. And then the last page of the syllabus is just a document saying that you've gone through the syllabus, you understand what's expected of you out of the course, and that you'll abide by the rules of the course. Usually what I would have you guys fill this out, print it, and sign your name and turn it in. I really want to make a digital Dropbox, and I haven't made it yet. So for right now, just kind of fill it out and keep it on file and just have it ready if I come looking for it. So with that, let me kind of check the chat and see if there are questions. I'm going to stop my screen share. I only see one. So the hard deadline, okay, there's a couple. So yeah, the materials that need to be purchased are My Math Lab. So if you go to Blackboard, right? So the thing that we need to purchase, share the screen, start the broadcast. So if we hop over to Blackboard and if we start at the landing page, so we land. So when you log in, you're here. The only thing that you really have to purchase, my recommendation, if you go down to this folder number 4, assignments, when you click on the first item that says all assignments, you're going to be prompted for payment. My recommendation is to pay there. You can purchase a hard copy book, but it's not necessary. But the thing with the hard copy book, you want to make sure that it's new and it comes with My Math Lab access code. But the simple thing is just to click on this link, the first link, and follow the prompts for payment. Just get it online because it comes with a digital book. It's not a hard copy book, but it's a digital copy of the same book, the same material. And then there was another question. The other one said, what's the hard deadline? So the hard deadline is Friday, December 9th at 11:59 p.m. I can't push anything past that. Let me check the chat again. Are all the homework assignments accessible? Yes. All homework and quizzes are available right now for the entire semester. They start to lock out on a weekly basis, but you can work on all of these past their due dates. We get unlimited attempts at all assignments, and there's only a 10% late penalty for any assignment, right? So, and the system is set, thank you. The system is set to take your highest score. Okay, so where to find them? If we go to Blackboard, so when we go to our landing page, it looks pretty much like this. You open up this folder, you go down to item number 4, all assignments. And then once you purchase access, the first one, you click on My Math Lab, all assignments. You click on that, you follow the prompts for payment. Once you purchase full access, that's where you find, these are all the assignments for the entire semester. So you see this week, week 1, homework and quiz. Week 2, homework and quiz with the corresponding due dates to the left. All right. Let me make that change as well. Also, okay, so if you have questions, feel free to unmute yourself or type it in the chat. Let me make one more update. My Math Lab. Are there any other burning questions? Any other burning questions? Give me just a moment. So 4 p.m. I want to manage. And I want this to be the first item. Cool. Okay. So now the first thing that you should see is my YouTube. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube and turn on your notifications. That way, as I start to post video responses to student questions, you can see it's like, oh, I had that same question. But if you don't get the notification, you're gonna miss it, right? And then once the semester is over, you can just turn the notifications off and keep the subscription. It could just be an homage or a thank you, going forward. It's just a record or whatever. Okay. If there aren't any, let me check the chat again. How can we reach you? So the best way to reach me is during class. So on this Zoom. I'm on this Zoom basically Mondays and Wednesdays in the 9 o'clock hour, and also Monday and Wednesdays from 1 to 5. So that includes your class time. I don't have an office phone. You can email me. It's my first name, last name at Morehouse, but I'm really bad about replying to emails, right? But I still encourage you to email me anyway, just so it's on file, right? So you can email me and it'll be on file. Any other burning questions? Feel free to unmute yourself if you have questions. Let me check the chat one more time. Okay, I think the chat looks clear. Okay. If there aren't any burning questions, we're going to end the session here. And I'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, so Monday at 4 o'clock. And so from one beautiful mind to another, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, guys. Peace.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Thank you.
You as well. My pleasure. All right.